And hello to all my friends. I'd like to welcome you to your Quadrants video 2024. So this is divination for an entire year. We're going to be looking through different topics, subjects, and themes to see when is the best time for you to plan and prepare things for your year. This is the only divination that I do for a year out at a time. So what is a quadrant? Well, a quadrant is a piece of the pie of the year. The little graphic illustration I have on your screen is probably the best visual I can give you. It's pretty self-explanatory. Quadrant 1 is going to be talking about January, February, and March. Quadrant 2 is going to be talking about April, May, and June. Quadrant 3, July, August, and September. And then Quadrant 4 will be wrapping up with October, November, and December. Which quadrant has what in store for you? Well, we're about to find out. This is the best tool available for you to plan and prepare. Today, this is being done as a general reading for your entire sign, but if you're looking for messages that are personal, private, and specific only to you, I do offer quadrants as a personal audio product on the website scottsagent.com, available January only. I've found that the best way to utilize quadrants is to watch the entire thing at the beginning of the year, and then after the first quadrant ends, March going into April, I come back, watch quadrants again, look at what happened in one, and reflect back on it because you just lived it. And then look ahead to what quadrant 2 is so it's fresh in your mind. And then do the same thing at the end of 2 going into 3. I'll come up and do a little fresh reminder again on that. And then same thing at the end of 3 going into 4. See how 3 just played out. See what's coming in 4. That's the best way so you can plan and prepare so it's fresh in your mind. All of the card work has already been done. I've taken a bunch of notes for every single quadrant for you. So let's get started. Okay, Pisces, here we go. Quadrants 2024. Let's start at the beginning. Quadrant 1, January, February, and March. The first ping we have comes up under work. They want to just let certain Pisces know that you could get hurt at work. That's usually for Pisces that work very physical jobs. Even if that's not you, be a little cautious about slip and falls, or you're stepping. You might trip, sprain an ankle. There is just a little bit of injury potential here that they're picking up for some Pisces here in Quadrant 1 early in the year. So just be a little cautious about that. Probably not for you, but in a general, got to cover it all. Love. Love gets a ping for warm and fuzzy. So Pisces, the first 3 months are just so good for love for you guys. Whether you're single, in a relationship, married, anywhere. I mean, it's all coming in good. It's just different levels of good. If you're single, maybe a great time to go find love, go find new love. If you're in a relationship, it's like it's just so good. If you're, so you get the idea. So anyway, warm and fuzzy, very, very nice. Money, finances come in as the biggest ping yet. It's actually the largest ping for your entire Q1. They talk about great moments. Great moments. If you're talking about moments, pay attention to the vocabulary. The moments mean that not the entire 3 months are going to be great, but moments they will be. Now they do bring in counselor too. So I don't know if that means like getting counseled about spending the way you spend your money, or talking to somebody who knows more about it, or learning yourself. Learning self-taught stuff is wonderful in this day and age. So you can learn just about anything for free that you really want to online. So great moments financially and counselor. And maybe you are the counselor. Maybe you're helping somebody else with some money, helping them out, or helping them to learn. We have a ping here to wrap up for Q1, talking about risks. They talk about a young person here, a generation gap, younger or older. It usually goes younger, but it's basically like, you could be the kid if they're talking about your parent, or you could be the parent, depending on who's viewing this, and they're talking about a kid here, or a person who is a generation gap younger that would be like a kid. And they're talking about an event here that is going on with that person. I don't know if it's a birthday party, a gathering, something like that, but that's what an event is. It's something out of the ordinary and generally very positive. The theme, which I should have told you at the beginning, I kind of got carried away with talking about work first, but the theme here is no new work now, and to wait. I don't know if that would be really a theme, but more of advice for anybody who's looking for new work that's a Pisces. You definitely don't want to do that. I don't think it has anything to do with us talking about the injury potential there with saying hurt. I just think that the opportunities are either not there in Q1, maybe they're better later. I'd say they probably for sure are. Okay, so anyway, no new work right now, even starting new businesses, new second jobs. Okay, just wait. It'll be better. I'm telling you. Let's get into that quadrant 2, Pisces. Quadrant 2, we start with April, May, and June. That's what quadrant 2 is. They start getting pretty chatty with you here. The theme is to unlocalize, okay? So they want you to get away from what you're comfortable with, move further away. Distance is involved here. With work, they talk about a super pretty scene. It's just like I don't know if they're referring to the environment here or what they're really getting at, but I wrote down super pretty scene. So if that sounds pretty good to me. So work situation is much better than Q1 was. Q2 leads much more into the ways of potential, but maybe you don't want something new because you got a pretty scene going on there in Q2, looking pretty nice. Love, I just wrote no. Okay, usually I don't do that, but when something stands out that big, I usually still write it. So I wrote no. That's mostly for my singles, guys. Not happening in Q2. Not worth it. Okay, we ping down in health. Here's our first big one for the quadrant 2. They talk about group health or guided health, which means like somebody else helping guide you, like a doctor would, a nurse would, or somebody who knows their stuff. In a group, a very interesting energy because it's not just about you here. And this may be to get you to look outside of yourself. Maybe this is about health of like a child, health of an aunt or an uncle that maybe you're doing the guiding here. But they talk about more than one person involved here. So it's bigger than just you. And they say that you know best. So this is a perfect example here of where if you're watching this video at the beginning of the year, you probably have no idea what this is in April, May, and June, especially since it can come up any of those months. So this is the perfect time to remind you that you got to come back. You got to watch these videos again. You got to watch. I prefer to do it right before it happens. That way you can look back on what just happened. You can look forward about what to expect and be refreshed by it. So otherwise, you're probably not going to remember this. We have a ping here for vacation. They basically say just to get out of the house. Okay, Pisces? So get out of the house. Go do something for vacation or do something to relax. Get away. And that lines up with our theme of unlocalize. Okay, get out of the house. We have one popping up here for safe and conservative. They want you to be safe and conservative with new love. Okay, so that's, again, lines up with what we said about love. And when I wrote no, okay, it was no for a reason. New love is you got to play it super safe. You met somebody new, you have great chemistry, you know that Scott told you no, but you're like, oh, but me and this guy, we hit it off. It's so good. Safe, conservative. I'm not saying like don't do it, okay, but I'm saying you got to play it safe, okay? There's something going on here with a lot of Pisces that this is coming up as a no-fly zone. I'm not sure what that is, but just take it into consideration as you go through Q2. Q3, guys, quadrant 3. The theme is late in quadrant 3, how this love message just manifests. See how much better it gets for love? This is why you got to wait for the timing of it. That's why the quadrants are so important. You want to get the good results, you got to get the good timing. That's how this goes. So let's talk about these pings. We got a love ping. Love comes easy. All I wrote is comes easy. So that shows how bad it can be in one quadrant and how much it can just 180, flip around, boom, comes easy. And that's good for everybody. That's good for my couples. It's good for my singles. Everybody loves that. We have a very interesting ping coming in here for Q3 for busy and productive. It talks about when weird phases end in Q3. When this phase ends, things are going to get busy and for you to get productive. So that, read between the lines, that there is going to be a weird, mysterious, kind of bizarre phase that happens there in those months, July, August, and September. Somewhere in there, things are just not going to make a lot of sense, maybe some confusion. And that is when the busy and productive kicks. Once that phase ends, that's when you can get busy and get on with it. Okay, you'll know when we get there. Vacation relaxation, we have a ping here coming in for many options. Lots of great options here for my great Pisces to travel, vacation, just a little relaxation, take a break from things, get away, maybe just for a weekend, whatever you want here. Many, many options coming in. We have a ping here for risks and going for it. And they basically said called quick. So you're going to be called quick to take risks. It's going to pop in kind of out of the blue, maybe spontaneously, something you never expected. And then all of a sudden you're like, wow, I got to really just go. I got to go for it here. And that's what they're talking about here in Q3. And when that happens, I hope you do. I hope you do go for it. We have Safe and conservative is coming in just a very small part. Safe and conservative in Q3, they talk about with new ideas. So if it's something that is brand new, it is out of the ordinary, or a new idea that you're kind of just throwing around in the back of your mind, trying to figure out, this is what you need to take your time with and be a little bit patient with. Everything else is very much on the risk side of Q3. So there you go. Let's get into Q4, guys. Quadrant 4. The theme is a little tied up right now. Let's see where that goes. The first, we have major pings coming in, major themes for Pisces Q4, October, November, December. The first ping we got here is a big work one that talks about breaking free. So a lot of you that need to leave a job the end of the year is a good target date for it. Breaking free in any other ways, like getting more freedom at your job or doing whatever that Spirit would be portraying here as like something that's got you kind of handcuffed in here. It's like usually like a bondage you don't like. So something to do with the work corner there, breaking free. And they do talk about great ideas here, where earlier they talked about new ideas, like, you need to be a little cautious with that in Q3. But here in Q4, you're getting the green light with these new ideas. So this is the time to really go for these new ideas, especially when it comes to work. We have a love ping coming in here, big one. Major decision, but delays with family in regards to health. So this is much bigger than just you. It's probably other people or those surrounding you. There's a major decision that happens here with the family, with the love corner, or with your relationship partner. Hard to pinpoint in a general, but they do bring in major decisions. So they're letting you know that like a major decision will need to be made during these 3 months, and you should not hesitate. You should go ahead and make this decision. What is best for the family? We have another major ping coming in for finance. Finance. Every of the corners are covered in a major ping, so I couldn't go wrong with whatever I said right there. Finance, though, here is what we're talking about. They say not enough. So they're basically saying that you can earn a lot more than you're looking at. Okay, so basically to be the boss and to be brave here in Q4. And to go for it. Go for the money, okay? There's a lot of potential here. And there's no reason that Spirit's like, hey, you know what? You could be that much better off if you go for it, or it would be better for the family if you go for it. So anyway, finance coming in very good potentiality there. Health, big ping. Need more skills, information. It feels like schooling. For those of you, especially who are trying to get into a career field or even in a career field that has to do with health, medical, doctor, nutritionalist, stuff like that. They talk about going back to school perhaps, getting some accreditations going on in Q4, basically just learning more information, whatever version of that applies to you if it does. Busy and productive, we have a ping here for nurturing work, because work gets very interesting here. A lot of my Pisces are, getting very interested in the work corner here in general, and it could go back to that idea. It could be an extra business or a side project, something like that, and that is why the theme is a little tied up here in Q4. So that wraps up your 4 quadrants. I hope you guys can see how this information can be used to implement positive changes throughout your entire year, and that is why I hope you all spoil yourself to a quadrants reading, a personal private one, which is much more accurate than this general reading could ever be, because we're not sharing the Pisces bubble energy. It is all about you in all of my personal private readings. So that is available January only, guys. ScottSagent.com. Have an excellent 2024. I know you will.
So I guess the fortune teller's right.